Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Reinharz, your CEO of Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions. I am fresh back from a very short trip to China. I got back late last night, and this week's weekly video is going to kind of be something a little bit different. Along the way, I took little video clips about the trip and about the travel, and Doug has put it together in some kind of video format, which I haven't seen yet, so I'm going to be as excited as everyone here to watch it when it is released tomorrow. But I'm sharing the trip with you and some of the interesting things that happen on long trips and things in China and so forth. So I hope you find that interesting. There's going to be some little clips of the factory that I visited. I visited Unitary. Unitary, of course, makes the core of our rad dogs, and they're quite an innovative company. I believe in the space, I believe in mobile robotics, and very specifically, they are starting to come out with a humanoid robot. And if you follow the news, there's a lot of movement in humanoid robots in the United States, particularly with Tesla's Optimus Prime, and I think a company called Agility. I might be wrong on that name, but they said they're building a plant in Oregon. So since we have a lot of the core technology of what we need and a base of dealers and sales and an organization, I wanted to do an exploratory trip out there for a few reasons. Number one, get eyes and hands on where they're really at with the humanoid robot. That was number one. Number two, get eyes and hands on what's happening with the quadrupeds. Number three, strengthen the relationship through trust building, which involves meeting people and spending time with them. I think they could be a real big part of our business. So that's why I went, and I'll probably share more over the coming months as things happen, coming weeks, maybe even sooner. So that's why I went. That's where I went. That's what I did. I hope you enjoy the video this week and add comments. We'll see you next week. Have a great one. Thanks.
And we are going to Shanghai today. We're going to be doing 1 day's worth of meetings at the factory visit. By we, I mean I'm solo on this flight. Going to be about 50 hours worth of travel for maybe 7-8 hours on site. The total trip should be 8 to 8 hours door to door, back and forth. Join me. See if it's fun. It's about 6:30 in the morning. I am just in the lounge waiting to go to my gate. I'll go there in a minute. And what's going through my mind is got to brush up on Chinese culture, business culture. It's been maybe 4 years since I've been there. It's pre-COVID when I was last there, and very strong culture, very rich history. It's important for me as a visitor to go and understand these things and show respect and do what I have to do in order to advance our cause, which is potentially build a great partnership. So those will be the things I'll be doing.
Well, ended up getting an upgrade on the Seattle leg, which is nice. Happy to have it. Angling to try to get an upgrade on the leg to Seoul. So from where I'm at to Seattle. Seattle to Seoul, Seoul to Shanghai. Doubtful on the Seoul trip, but ended up paying $1,600 for this ticket after applying some certificates that I had. So that's it. Well, arrived in Seattle about half hour behind schedule, so gotta hustle up, take the S train, International Terminal, and see how that goes. Stairs, always, when I travel. Sometimes, only exercise I get. Probably be in that chair for about 13 and a half hours, so getting a couple snacks. What's fun? Look at all the self-checkouts. Interesting. Normally I don't travel with any cash at all, but going to China, gotta get some cash because different banking systems are not always connected. Credit cards don't work as smoothly as they do in other parts of the world, so best to have a little bit of cash. This is me before takeoff.
you know, travel intensive trip like this and sleep is a thing. So what I'll do on a trip like this, where I'm sitting in the chair for about 13 hours, is I'll work out the rest of the day, you know, American time, and then try to sleep a bit, you know. I got to do a transfer in Seoul, South Korea, so I want to be kind of awake and alert for that. I got a little bit of a layover there, so try to catch 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep on this flight will set me up well, because when I land in China, 7 o'clock at night, be up for a few hours, try to get some sleep, and then get prepped to work on Wednesday with that vendor. So that's kind of how I got the trip planned out. About 2 hours in, 2.5 hours in, something like that. I try to get up and pace around as much as I can. Well, all right, we're about halfway through the flight, which means I got about 6.5 hours left to fly. It's about 5 o'clock East Coast time right now. Mostly caught up on rad stuff, some AITX stuff left to do, and really, it's time right now to research who we're seeing. Look up everybody's profile, dig as deep as I can, understanding the foreign language that's being involved, but time to be as prepped as possible. Showtime in, I don't know, 20 hours, who knows? Time change messes me up. All right. Landed in South Korea. Here's a mess. We're about 20 hours in, 21 hours into 26 hours or so. We get to Shanghai. Slept about a half hour, feel pretty good. And first time in South Korea so far. Reminds me of every other airport we've ever been in. Let's see if we find anything fun. So at the gate behind me, and you'll see airport is quite quiet. I don't know why. Certainly different than every other North American airport I've been to in the last 2 years. But quite nice, quite quiet, kind of fun.
2 individuals concerned, and criminal liability will be pursued for serious cases. Your safety.
Full plane on the leg to Shanghai. Packed. Except for my 2 seats. Go figure. Okay, landed. We are in China, in the Shanghai airport. Slept most of the flight. Here's crazy. But here we are. Through security. And quiet. Again, it's quiet here. Good morning, everybody. It's about 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning in Hangzhou. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. A couple hours out of Shanghai. So I got a few hours before people are going to come pick me up and take me to some factories and offices, or one factory and one office rather. So I got a little bit of caught up from what might have happened. China, this town is just pretty spectacular. China is not really a early morning kind of city. So it's like 10 after 7 and all these shops would be open, right? But even in the hotel, the breakfast doesn't 30 a.m. So there's a place up here. I see last night, I see some people around it today. See if I can't get a coffee. If not, no coffee. Well, scratch that. I walked around a little bit, found a whole bunch of noodle places that were open, but no coffee. So came back here to the hotel, asked for coffee. Lo and behold, they got pretty killer breakfast around here. So that's kind of cool. Just finished lunch, and now we are going to talk about some other products, and then we're going to go to the factory in a bit. See how it goes. Back in the hotel for about an hour before the guys from Unitary come pick me up when we go for dinner. Spent the day at their offices and doing factory tours.
and was absolutely fascinating, as it always is. I love going through people's factories. I always pick up a little idea or two to bring back to our own factory. Factories, in many ways, are pretty custom, because products that they're building will vary so differently. So you need different staffing qualities, skill levels, organization, flow. You're building around logistics, which is different. So factories have similar principles, but different execution, and I picked up a really cool idea today. But needless to say, the Unitary team was absolutely fabulous. Saw some incredible things, and fascinating. So, all right, this is it. Gonna have some breakfast, start the very, very long journey home, and make sure I'm caught up on work, reflect on these meetings that we had, the factory visits that we completed with Unitary. Very interesting, very exciting stuff. So very well worth the effort to get out here. Fun energy saving fact: escalators, Korea, not on until you step on them. Kind of interesting. Well, global upgrade certificate worked on Delta, which is fantastic. Be able to get some sleep. The class of service that I had for this flight was not as good as coming, so I'm very glad to be able to get some sleep. Means did get some work done, and Friday I won't be useless. Be able to carry on with my day, so very good, and didn't cost me anything, just flying a lot of Delta. So thanks. All right, well, thanks for coming to China with me. Now, why is that important, and what else do we have going next week? Well, the first thing is you can see that we have a strong relationship with Unitary. We're going to continue to invest in quadrupeds because we think that it has a real big place in security and facility management. But at the same time, that we have more than dogs, and that right now and potentially for the short term, dogs will not be a big part of our revenue stream. Getting into the revenue stream, we're going to be talking about Ava. Ava is actually our most profitable product when you talk about return on capital. So this week, keep your eyes open for news on Ava. Maybe there's some big customer reveals. We'll see. But in any case, it's going to be another big week for us, and hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Thanks for watching. Add your comments. Reach out as you see fit. Thanks again.